class today are our usual list of suspects. We're going to start with Fishy Cat, move to Tiara, and then to Alabaster. Not to give Travis time to get back because he went to do something. So, give you a character name, class, race, and what you think of the Grolem. Go, Fishy Cat.
Who's first?
Go. I said
That's you, Fishy Cat.
said
The
Fishy
only
Cat.
fishy.
I said Fishy Cat, then Tiara, then Alabaster. But
Okay.
and
what was the question?
your name, class, race, and what you think of Grolem.
Roba?
Grolem. You just fought a bunch of Grolem, remember?
Last week,
No,
but
it wasn't here.
just a moment ago.
Yeah, just a moment ago, you guys fought a Grolem. If you don't remember, give me what you think a Grolem looks like. That'll be really funny because everyone else saw them last week. If you weren't here, I thought you were here.
I wasn't here.
Okay, that's right. This was you were studying.
No, I thought that was on Wednesday night.
Growlins are the cat people, right? I mean, not the cat people. The big,
floppy-eared beastie things.
Yeah, I'm trying to make into a people. Yeah.
Yeah.
What are they closest to though?
Werewolves.
Are they sec-gen or something else?
Okay, so Grolem are particularly pissed off about the sec-gen because the sec-gen were elevated past them. The Grolem are basically similar, if you will, to hyena or dingoes. They basically were partially elevated at some point in the past by some evil villain. So they're kind of like the Knoll or Flint. Yeah, they're like that. But they're my own personal. They're called creatures of the sand. They tend to live in barren regions.
What are they doing on the side of a mountain and a gorgeous valley?
Grolem. Let me go look at my list. I think that's right. Double check. TMGS. Anyway, so go ahead, Fishy Cat. Introduce yourself. Character, class, name, race, and what you think of Grolem.
I am Fishy Cat. Fish people. I am a cleric, and I think that we can be friends.
Of course you do. Fish are friends, not food. That's your mantra for everybody, isn't it? Don't eat me! Don't eat me!
I'm a friend. Oh, you were delicious. Okay, I'm...
Alabaster's here.
Yep, you're
I know, you're last.
We gave you time. That's right. You're third.
It just took a while for Steven to get rolling. I am Jean. I play Tiara Sunfire. She's a divine soul sorcerer, Azamar.
Close the door, Ma.
With a touch of cleric. And Roland seems to be an extremely primitive sort of animal people. She had never encountered one before. She found them kind of on the...
What do you mean? You met a fish person.
A hostile nature to at least us. So that's what I think of them. Hostile.
Okay.
Primitive and hostile. Now I'm done. Alabaster.
Hi, I'm Travis, and I play Alabaster now. And he thinks that they're quite rude. And it's quite strange that how they just cut out their own tongues for whatever reason. And they're not very good talkers either. Tried to say hello and he just went, "Arr." Not very nice, that is. That's quite rude.
Yeah, yelling at you. And all you did was spoke to him.
I saved his life. Then I killed him, but I saved his life before that. Could have at least said, "I hate you" or something.
I'm sure that's exactly what he said. Or else I'm going to eat you. One of the two. Either one is rather hostile.
Host. It's scary. All right, so our stories so far. We are returning. We had just finished the battle, or were you?
We are returned. We were turning in the ears.
That's right. Getting your pay for the ones you killed. And this is you've taken him to Mulbray's, right?
Yeah.
In Banbury.
Yep. Down into the town.
Mm-hmm. Well, the one thing that you'll notice as you come back into town that seems odd is that there is a completely new structure. I mean, it was not there when you rode through town last time, but there, standing in the corner, is a large building that looks like a stack of books. Physically, it looks like maybe 40 books stacked on top of each other.
Oh, I wonder if they have any books.
Oh no, those are only like made of plaster.
I don't know if Alabaster trusts books or not. Probably or not.
Probably the not part, but that's his general stance about everything.
She heads that way.
I don't know that he has. I don't know that whether he has nothing against them or something,
but there's
I don't think he's got nothing against anyone.
Just a moment.
I'm pretty sure he's got nothing against everyone.
You have.
You definitely have nothing against everyone.
Against everyone. Yeah. That and books would be the same thing. Books are a thing, therefore they're not nothings. So that's the problem with them.
Well, they're nothing if you don't read them. And you just look at them.
No, but they still are. You can stack them up, and God knows, hold up a leg of a table that doesn't have a leg, and or.
Aye, talk about not having a leg.
Not having a leg.
Right in front of me. That
was kind.
That's very kind of you.
Well, we know you don't mind because you're nothing.
I think you've solved your problem as well as possible.
Yes, like just no, I'm not even gonna go there.
I'm gonna kick you.
You mean you're gonna give her a splinter? That's what you mean.
No, but I was just trying to explain that I think what you have used is much better.
Yeah, you have a use
than a book stacked up, which you tend to slip and slide, and cause all sorts of problems.
Because you have no leg. She's making fun of you.
My not leg.
I would not make fun of him.
Insensitive, isn't she? How do you worry about it?
But that would be rude to make fun of him.
It says the person who's making fun of him.
Okay, quoting here from the Book of Dark Shards. Eldrin are children of the woods. Grund are children of the mountains, which are Grund and Grim. Midge are children of the moors. Shelta, children of the meadows. Rook, children of the barrens. And Gruul or Grolem are children of the sands. So, I said that wrong.
Okay.
It wasn't of the barrens, but of the sands. And that's because they're nomadic. They don't stay in one place. They're not anchored like the other children.
They're like the sand.
Exactly.
They keep blowing to a new spot.
Exactly. So.
Okay. Anyway, she heads over towards the bookshop with her silver, whatever mini silver we got, or was her share.
Okay. Yeah, it's the first time you've gotten paid for something that wasn't singing.
Yeah. I don't know if she likes it. She thought singing was a lot better, but.
Well, let's see.
Anyway.
Fighting a creature that's trying to take your life, or standing in a bar in front of people singing. There are some people who would say that the standing in a bar singing is actually the more dangerous. So.
She doesn't recognize that.
True.
But that's okay.
I I said in this Zoom chat room, I think there's 2 people here that don't mind standing in front of people singing. Maybe 3 of maybe 3. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know how Tiara feels about singing in front of people. I don't know how Fishy Cat feels about singing in front of people. But
Oh, I
you know,
have no problem. I've done
Travis
it.
and I have both stood in front of crowds and sung.
Oh, I did too. I used to be in a choir.
Arguably,
Were you forcing
Travis,
them by gunpoint?
I may have done it a little bit more.
You may have done a little bit
yes.
more, and with considerable more competence than myself. But,
Little bigger audiences, maybe.
But I got 100 people to sing "I Like Traffic Lights" with me. So.
And then I took the
Oh,
class
God.
at junior college
So
of
sorry
voice,
for those people.
which I really enjoyed. And we got to sing.
I wasn't allowed to take those classes.
You weren't.
No.
Because of
How come?
blasphemy.
They said no professionals.
Ha!
Nice. Well, yeah,
I guess.
he's
I'm
Who's
not
the
kidding. They
person?
literally said that I would make the students feel bad.
Well,
Okay.
give them something to shoot for.
Nope.
It's
no, but this
If
is a
you
different
could-
world now. You can't do that. You can't make somebody feel bad when they go to school.
Oh, I'm sorry. Recognize what a good voice is, who gets paid for it, then stack yours up to it. Too many of these kids don't even understand their voice isn't worth a piece of
Well,
a
they
plug
don't have to.
nickel on
They
the
don't have to.
corner.
They did have me come in and sing once for them. But after that, no,
Yeah,
not
because-
allowed.
Yes.
He's too good for them.
Make them
Gene, did you understand?
Well, besides that, today's kids don't have to worry about singing well. They have auto tune.
Yeah.
Sing in a
Auto tune's
box.
pretty awesome, though.
Bite thine tongue.
Auto tune.
Okay, and back to
Okay.
the bookshop.
Back to the new store that wasn't there before.
Sweet. It's magic. It's bad magic.
I don't think fish would know what books are.
We don't.
Of course they do.
So
They
it's
went to
like that.
school.
Oh.
Completely.
Funny.
Thank you for setting me up, Travis. Holy crap!
You're welcome.
No, they used a
no.
Of
slate
course they know where books are because they went to school.
and chalk.
Fine then. If you're gonna say it like that, then yeah, I know what a book is. Come on, let's go to school. Let's enjoy these books.
No,
and
no, no.
knowledge
They
and,
used a
and
slate
everything.
and hydro. Oh,
They used
Hydro
hydras.
Power.
no, the
No, all the school teachers were hydras so that they could pay attention to everybody at once.
Yes, and then
Yeah.
when you were a fish that left a school like
hydrophobic chalk.
and when you
Yeah,
When you
chalk.
ditch school.
I'm pretty
Chalk
sure
doesn't-
chalk is already hydrophobic.
I think it is. I think it cannot.
Uh,
Yeah,
Yes,
you put
that's-
it on a slate. You put the
that
slate
was-
underwater, and
that
it
was
stays
one of the-
put.
that was one of those scenes from those movies where the guy did the diving bell or whatever and was down at the bottom of the water and they dropped a chalkboard to him. Remember? They'd write on it and then
Yeah.
drop it back to him, and then he would scribble on it and they'd drag it back to the surface.
Okay.
I'm doing
Right,
fine.
to the bookshop.
Okay,
to
well,
the
so
bookshop.
so it's actually hard against. I mean, right up against the property line for Mowbray's for this. It seems odd that literally it was not here yesterday, and now it looks like it's been around for a while, old and weathered, and the bindings of the books even look like they've got like bird bloop on it and stuff, where the building's been here for like ever.
Right,
Uh,
that's right strange,
Maybe
that
before
is.
I go, Mr. Mulberry?
Mowbray.
Mowbray?
M-A-U-B-R-Y. Mowbray.
Do you know what the nature of that shop is next door?
Oh yeah, that's the library.
we have a library.
Oh yeah.
Library.
Yeah. It's,
When did we have a library?
well, ever since the librarian came to live here.
Like yesterday?
Wait.
What are you
Like
talking about
yesterday?
yesterday? It's been months.
Once.
Oh,
We
yeah.
were in town yesterday.
What day is this?
Wait.
When's the last time you saw us?
Really?
Yesterday.
Okay.
Why are you acting
when,
so strange?
when we
Why are
were
you
here
acting so strange?
yesterday, it wasn't here.
Yes, it was.
No, it was not.
I'm gonna accept it and go
What about
into the
not?
store. I'm going.
Speaking of our payment, how much are we getting paid for these ears?
Oh, I don't recall. What was the rate yesterday? It changes based on market demands, but I think it was like
Gold per ear.
it was not a gold per ear. God, if
It
it
was
was a
a
gold per ear,
silver.
It was a couple silver per ear, I think. But I know
5
for the
silver
big
per
ones,
ear?
he was gonna offer triple or something.
yeah, the ones that have earrings on them, he'll pay extra for earrings and the markings and stuff because they
Ear rings.
Mhm.
Rings with ears.
rings of ears with ears on rings.
Oh,
On
and then
ears.
also then there's the earrings that have ears on them.
That is the one we're
That's
talking
what
about.
There was about 6, so there's a total of 12 there. And then we
Okay,
have
so those
other-
no, but he pays different for those because he tries to return those to the family's owners. Remember, we talked about this last time.
Okay.
I thought you must have gotten paid because we already talked about that. So I don't.
Yeah, but we
Yes, but he didn't say how much, because I don't have written down if we got any money.
guess we went in to get paid.
Well, you killed 2 or 3 of the little ones. I can't remember.
We killed
You killed
two,
the
the rabbit
babies?
kept one,
That's right.
and we killed the big one.
Right.
Yes.
You killed the babies? What is wrong
Not
with
babies. No babies. We did not go after the Tuscan Raiders' children yet. That's later.
you? Wow.
I hate sand, it gets everywhere. It's rough and coarse.
Yes.
Not
thing,
like
Yes,
you.
You can
Good-
feel on your
good-
foot.
Good thing the ocean covers most of it.
Exactly. Wait.
Which do you hate worse, sand or the oceans? Because you're going to give us lots of sand if you wipe out the oceans.
The lesser of two evils.
2 evils?
If you burn them, you make glass. So maybe
Okay, all I need to know,
sand.
do I have like 1 silver, or what did he pay for the
Two
earrings?
silver per pair of ears.
Okay.
Yeah, they had to do it
Without
that way because
two-
otherwise people would be capitalized by bringing in both a left ear and a right ear and trying to get paid for each. But it's got to be pairs.
If they're smart, they would have just said the right ear. It's a difference, you know. Anyway, so I can see 4 silver, 2 silver for a pair. So we got
So
Two
4
silver.
silver for the ones we killed, plus whatever he's going to give us for the big ones. Because
Yeah.
Drunder was like a named target.
Right. So,
Big goof.
Drunder was worth 10 silver for his. And then for the necklace ring, he can only offer an additional 3 because he has to return those. He has the horrible job of trying to find the family members of those ears that are lost. He has an idea for a couple of different ones, but he's not sure who the rest belong to. So that's gonna be kind of gross.
So 13 silver for Drunder and 4 silver for that. That makes 17 silver divided by 3 is
5 and change.
5 and 2/3.
5 and
everyone gets 5.
5 and 66. Yep.
Copper, and 1 person gets 67 copper.
I get 67 because I wasn't there.
That's
you get
logical.
nothing. Wait a moment. You get nothing because you weren't there. That way it's easier to divide it.
No.
17 divided by 2 is still a problem.
Well, I know, but it's
I'm
not-
putting down 6, so I don't know what
I'm
you're
putting down 7.
You're putting down 6.
I already put down,
down
7. though.
5. He's
You
putting
get
down
5.
5.
I already put down 7 though. I can't undo
Take
it.
it
It's
away.
him.
Yes, you can. Undo
Can't
it.
Tom
undo.
can.
Can't undo it. Wrote it in pen. Wrote it in blood. Sorry, it's attached to his character sheet now.
Darn.
No,
Then again,
it's
wait a minute.
not.
Wait a minute. This is also the person said he had 108 experience point. 108 hit points at one point. So
It's true.
Yeah. So we can't trust his numbers.
Well, I created this character right, I think.
No, you didn't.
I have 9 hit points now.
yes, we
19
fixed it.
hits.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Sorry,
different.
19
Did
hit points.
we level up after killing the Drunder?
Yeah.
No.
We did.
No, you didn't.
Lovely.
You didn't level up. I gave 300 experience points. So I think somebody's still behind.
I don't think so. Not here.
Not here.
I'm level 2. Tiara, what level are you?
5.
I'm level 2 too.
Right, that's what I said.
Because
She's
both of
go-
you started at the same time when I was the only one in the game.
So then we're level 3 and she gets 300.
Yes.
Exciting. Wait, what's a level 3 cleric like? Who did he
That's
get
when you
special?
get to pick. There's a lot of picking at 3rd level, I think.
Okay.
So that's where you read the book.
Ribbo.
Got to pull out the player's handbook and get at it.
Ugh.
Lucky you. Catch up with the rest
How
of
about
us.
I just Google it instead?
That works.
Five
only,
E.
only in the COVID incursion version, because otherwise I'd make you read the whole damn book. That used to be the
That's not gonna
requirement.
happen.
That used to
I'm
require.
not trying to be rude to you, but I wasn't gonna do that.
Well, it used to be that was a requirement to play with me, specifically for children, kids that are in school. You know, if they wanted to play, had to read the books, had to read the player's handbook cover to cover.
That's not possible.
Yes, it is.
No.
It's a
no,
finite.
no,
it's
it's not.
it's a finite number of pages. So
I
it
read
is
the whole,
possible.
the Bible and the New Testament.
Oh, that brings me to another subject we're going to
Okay,
talk
the
about.
Bible and the New Testament is different from what this is. This is the Bible's real, and okay, and Dungeons and Dragons is fantasy.
After. Listen to what you're. Well, this is.
No, he's talking about Dungeons
Sacrilege!
and Dragons, not Nycos, John. It's okay.
Okay.
Sacrilege.
There's a difference.
That's funny.
Geeks.
Yeah, totally. I resemble that remark.
Oh,
Hey,
yeah,
guys,
plus 2.
it kind of slipped my mind.
Oh, no,
Yeah,
you're good.
40,
Nothing
40,
really happened.
45 minutes worth of mind slip. Okay.
Sorry.
Oh, I just get another level.
Why don't you set your phone with an alarm? Especially with the smartphone, you can
Well,
set the
yeah.
alarm for exactly the time that you need to be somewhere.
I set up the meetings so the meetings should be popping up on all your phones anyway. So.
Oh, I see now. So I get another level magic slot and upgrade in my spells.
Yeah. While you're doing that, Jacob needs to switch his name to his character's name in this campaign. I don't remember which of his Jacobs he is in this one. Stone, I think.
Power to the people. Sorry.
And I do hope you have nothing else going on while you
Okay.
play the game.
Go ahead, Jacob. I was just teasing you anyway. He was explaining that he had to help his mother move furniture. I wasn't picking on you, Jacob. I was just being silly. Ah, Solus. Okay, that's right. The character that wasn't at Solus is the one that names himself Solus. That's good. But at least he names it Solus with a different spelling so that it doesn't come out as soulless like everybody else did, which was really funny. Humans.
SOLICE.
No, he spelled it I-S, S-O-L-I-S, compared to A-C-E, which is where you guys were all calling it soulless, and which was appropriate because humans were reading at that point as undead, so.
Yeah.
They had no life in them.
All right.
All right, so.
Oh, so something happened. Something has happened.
What are you talking about? Oh yeah, Jacob. Just so you know, there's a building that's like a stack of books right next to the inn that wasn't there yesterday. But the guy that works there is insisting that it's always been there, as far as he knows, for a really long time. It's at least several months.
There's been a
It's been longer than that.
Can I read the
Alabaster? Can
Aye.
I talk to you for a moment?
Oh, sure. What?
She takes him over to a corner of the shop away from. Is something like happened, like a time shift or something?
Why would you say that?
Okay, he's swearing that this building's been here for months. Or
Well,
years.
we know it hasn't. What's the problem?
Well, then how could he do that?
He's
Why
lying.
Do you think he's just plain lying?
He's telling a not truth, as I would say.
Okay, let's
I'm
ask
paying up
somebody
for
else
this.
in town, and hopefully somebody will be truthful.
Well, there's
So
there's the temple down the street where Bombast.
She
is.
goes down. to the
No,
druid.
Bombast is not there.
No, Bombast is not there. Bombast is on a train, or was on a train.
Yes.
She goes down to the temple, and hopefully there's an acolyte there,
Sure.
or a lower level cleric.
His name's Bud.
There's a
Hey,
neat
bud. What's up? How you doing?
Bud Light.
Oh, no, you're not that
Bud-
light. You know you can
Bud,
take it.
Bud Echo Light.
But
Oof.
But a
how do you
co-light.
do? I'm Tiara Sunfire.
Yes, I'm aware of you. You were here yesterday, or in the area yesterday. Okay.
Okay,
You're
good.
unmistakable with those beautiful locks of hair.
Eef.
Isn't it longer today than it was yesterday?
Yeah,
What?
by this much. And she shows them an inch.
That's amazing.
I wish my hair grew like that.
Yeah, me too.
Pulls off his hat and he's completely bald, obviously.
Yes.
He's bald.
Yeah, he's not only is he bald, but he's also plucked out all his eyebrows and eyelashes.
No. We don't want that. No, thank you.
Yeah,
No.
Oh yeah, no, he has.
It is what it is.
It's his religion.
Yeah.
However,
At least he hasn't got.
he because of who he is, he has to have the white. It's acceptable because it's white. The white gristle just coming out around his chin.
Yes.
You know that sailor salt.
I was
Weird
wondering
thing.
about the building that's next to
Mowbray's? Yeah.
Mowbray's?
The library. Yeah.
When did that appear?
Well, gosh, I can't exactly recall. I know that there was some commotion about 7 months ago, and within a few days it was built. So I figure it must have been some kind of magical construction. I don't spend much time there because I don't hold to the pagan thoughts that are represented there. I'm much more in alignment with Brother Not here.
Oi?
Yes, as a priest
You-
of the rainbow, I tend towards the more brilliant end of the rainbow. The nearer the white we get, the better.
May you never. That's it.
May you never. Well, actually, that's their curse. They look at us, they go, "Well, I never."
7
Get
months
indignant.
ago?
Yeah.
You're sure about that?
Well, let's go look at the book. And he's got a tome like his diary, and he flips back through the pages, and even as he's flipping back, you're seeing places where he's had discussions with the librarian, and in every case, the librarian is capitalized, and no name is given to whoever the librarian is, but they just call.
Who is the librarian? Have you met him?
The guy who owns the library.
Does he have a name?
Well, I don't see him out much. I've gone to borrow books from there from time to time, but nothing good comes out of it. So
Why not? Why did you say nothing good comes out of it?
he looks
Oh, I
with
understand
a
that.
knowing glance at Alabaster. He says, "Well, there's just nothing new. It's the same old routine. It's that misnomer calling life a cycle."
Oi, it's all the old history, you know.
Well, I'm interested
Why are
Of course
you
you would be.
interested?
I'm sorry that you're.
because I
interested.
don't know anything.
Okay,
Yeah,
don't
You know nothing is a better way to say it.
Yeah, we all agree.
We think you're perfect just the way you are.
No,
There's
too much I don't know and
Just a
don't
second.
understand.
Just a second. There's just no telling what you might get into your head if you read books.
Yeah. Well, she.
You're pushing the point of no
Return.
nihilism.
Yeah, the point. You're definitely pressing the point of no return. We are. We really are.
Yeah. Okay. I'm
Stop
going
saying
to
that, or I'll have to sing it.
To the point of no
She-
return.
goes to the store
Go to the store,
w-
the general store.
with her
She's
Okay.
going to the library.
No, she
five
said
inch
The store. She said she was going to
Uh,
Benedictus.
We already were in the store.
No,
No,
you
the
were at
library.
Mulberry's. You were at the restaurant.
I was asking questions before I went
Oh,
because I found it
so
strange.
so you're going to the library.
Now I'm going to the library.
Okay. I thought she was going to the general store because there's still
No,
people in town she could
the
talk
library.
to. Okay. So
Library.
as you approach the library, it is silent as the grave inside.
Oh, yeah, I do quite like this.
Mr. Librarian?
As- yeah, exactly. As you step in, the space inside is darkened. The size of the building is roughly a 40 by 40 square. The structural supports seem perhaps a little too overmuch for what the roof should weigh, because there are these huge dark columns that hold up the roof, and throughout the library are racks and stacks of books with each row of books is actually held in place by an external chain holding the books onto the shelf, so that you can't just pull a book off the shelf. You have to basically contact the librarian, who comes and unlocks the chain and gets out the volume in particular you're interested in. Near the center of the room is an emblem marked into the etched into the earth. A good inch and a half are the grooves, and in the center of it is a raised seat. It's really I wouldn't really call it a chair. It's more like a mound where somebody could.
Like a bench.
Well, no, it's circular and just a raised area of earth, really. So the emblem is kind of arrayed down the slope from that central high point. Behind the it looks like they place the almost like a bar along one wall, where perhaps you would think of as the attendant would normally stand. Behind that is a roughly 3.5 foot long, maybe 4 foot long structure that looks freakishly like a sarcophagus, a little curved on one end, a little wider at one end than at the other, and as you come in, you hear the stone on stone as the sarcophagus opens, and about a 13-year-old girl sits up inside the sarcophagus.
In the meta, is this a sandstone?
Yes, it is sandstone.
Uh,
That's a good question to ask, by the way. Very well thought out.
All right, continue.
The child, when it opens, the side also lifts out, so it opens like a clamshell. So both sides open. The top opens and the front edge, and she swings her feet out and slips her feet into big poofy fur slippers and shuffles to the counter. Her lips show marks of having been sewn shut at some point in the past, and her eyes are pupilless and black. There is a black tar-like substance that seems to drip from her nose periodically, which she dabs at with a handkerchief that she pulls from her pocket. That handkerchief is pretty much dotted and spattered with the blackish material, so apparently she has to do this quite often.
Hello.
She puts her finger to her lips in a sound of silence, and points at a sign on the wall that says, "Library, quiet, please."
I write that. I grab a paper and write down hello and just point it to her.
She looks at it, looks up at you, and smiles. And as she smiles, her lips are a bit cracked, and there's in the cracks of her lips are also the same kind of blackness that you saw dripping from her nose. That
And I write down
the light
what,
from the doorway does reflect a little tiny white spot in her eye, in each of her eyes. So it kind of makes her seem more lively as you step in and are looking at her like this.
I write down, my name is Fishy Cat. What's your name?
She
I
shakes.
hand her the pencil.
She shakes her head, and she looks confused. Like, what does that mean?
I point at myself and point at the name, my name.
Well, she nods. She nods rather aggressively. She understands that part.
He goes up to Alabaster, Tiara does,
Mm-hmm.
and kind of jerks on the side of his robe and trying to get his attention.
I.
She doesn't look well.
Shh! You have to whisper. And she doesn't.
You gotta-
She doesn't say the part. All she does is she just puts her finger to her lips and shakes her hand like.
I write down on the paper. So write on the paper. Don't be rude. And I make sure she sees it, and then I show it to them. So,
I think they're communicating. I didn't know he could do that.
Nice. And here we see the fish in his natural habitat in a school.
She goes really close to his ear and whispers, "Can you do something for her? I mean,
I don't think so. I think that's just how she chooses to live.
I point at the sign.
No, they are
Right.
whispering. They're whispering. It's fine.
Right uncomfortable it is, but nothing would be better.
Than to be in Carolina in the morning.
nothing could be
And I
done."
point at the sign that when I look at John. John,
John, storyteller can't do that. Breaking the motif here.
Okay,
So the attendant is looking at you, and you're looking at all the books locked up. And
so she's going down the rows and seeing what they have, and then she'll point to a book.
you'll see that 100%, every single volume has had anything that might have been a title just destroyed. Either they've scratched it out, or they've blotched it with ink, or they've burned it off. None of the volumes, not a single volume, has text on the outside of it.
Do you think that there's something that I might like?
There's nothing here for you to like.
He goes,
That-
good. Rubs his hands. Thank you. He rubs his hands. Woohoo! There's nothing here for me to like.
He finds this section where they sell blank books with, just empty pages. He starts leafing through one, nodding his head like he's reading something really good.
Mm-hmm. Stroking his chin periodically as he thinks thoughtfully on
Mm-hmm.
the words.
But I can't even open up the book to read what's inside.
No,
if
he's not
nothing
reading. He's talking about the actual place where you would pick up a volume that you could write into.
Yes, I know those books.
Yeah, the actual books are all behind the chains.
Are they
point at one
behind the
book.
chains, or are they connected to a chain leash?
Think along the lines of in Doctor Strange in the library at Doctor Strange's.
Mm.
The
So you
books-
can't even open the book without unlocking the chains.
Yes,
And then I look at her, and then I point
but
at around the book.
the books are positively ancient. These are volumes. This is like the Library of Alexandria, kind of old.
Okay,
This
she
is not
points
something.
to a
This is
book.
not something that was created 7 months ago.
She points to a book. I want, and makes gestures. I want that book.
She walks over and she looks at the edge of the book and looks at you, nods, produces a ring of keys, flips through them. Takes her a while to find the exact specific key for that lock, but eventually she gets that padlock loose and pulls that volume out, tucks it under her arm as she locks the rest of them back into place. And she walks towards the mound, motioning for you guys all to follow her, and then pointing at places outside of the ring for you guys to be seated.
Okay.
Story time. And I sit down.
And as soon as she's
And
in
I cast a spell of protect me from good and evil.
protection from good and evil?
Yeah.
Cool. Alrighty. As you're casting, she will again motion for you to be quiet, so you have to kind of whisper the commands for the spell, but she doesn't prevent it. And once she's seated in the position in the center of the chair, she transforms, and she now is about a 42-year-old, 43-year-old man. The mound upon which she's sitting has transformed itself into what looks to be a wooden chest, and as she opens the binding and looks down at the pages, her face, of course, is also in transition. She's growing beard hair and such, and when she looks back up at you, she's now got dark and slightly salty beard and hair, and the hair's down to about her shoulder length, and she has one of those floppy Renaissance doublet hats on with the big long feather hanging off the back of it, and pantaloons with pleats the pantaloon itself is a reddish brocade, but the pleats are a bright yellow, and black leather boots with golden buckles all the way from the ankle up to the mid calf. Cladding on his feet. As he sits, he goes, "Ah, good choice, the guide of Valas. How can I help you? Where would you like to go today?"
What's the guide of Valas?
It discovers and describes not only the peoples, but the nomadic patterns of the various creatures of the sands. I had heard that there were hunters in the area, and I thought perhaps you might want to know more about your prey.
Aye, that sounds fine. I suppose. Why do they cut their tongues out?
They don't cut their tongues out. The ones that have their tongues cut out have been captured and then released by SecGen.
That's strange.
The SecGen have this theory that they will be able to communicate with their mentor and guide, a horrible, undying creature known as Tongue Eater, if they consume sufficient numbers of the tongues of those who were bestial before they became sentient. And since they don't eat their own kind, they choose to prey on the poor Grolem and other creatures of the lesser beings.
Wait, didn't they? Wasn't there one that had a tongue in a little pouch thing?
I was probably
Yes.
saving it for a snack.
That's weird. I don't like that.
They're rather despicable creatures. And by the way, I appreciate the opportunity to speak with you in this with this voice. I don't get much opportunity to converse, and it's very welcome to have someone to speak with.
Think nothing of it. He looks very proud of himself.
Yeah, that was a good one.
So tell us of the golem.
Is there a way to help the Grolem?
Well, if by help you mean feed their voracious appetites, sure.
Or give them knowledge to become better?
They kind of disdain knowledge. They see communication itself to even be somewhat of a burden. They I operate under a toughest rules kind of system. Not that might makes right, because that would suggest that there's a right and a wrong, but the strongest rule.
Rule.
We have seen that.
They tend to migrate where when to places where things of great value are. They don't hoard it for themselves, but they do a lot of sacrifice to their, I guess you'd call them their gods, the ancients. They believe that their gods are those that are remembered, and so therefore they revere the eldest of their race, those that were the first to climb from the dunes and make dominion for themselves.
Hmm. Okay. Anyway,
What would
if you
you
go
what,
to,
what would you like to know? I mean, you asked for information on them, but there literally are volumes and volumes on the subject. And as I've opened an edition of Valos, I can share that with you. But it unfortunately is not a situation where I can allow you to read the books, because in opening a book in an unprotected environment would cause it to be destroyed. It's only in this small space where I can protect time that they can be maintained.
Interesting.
okay, I'll tell you something that I would like.
Why would they be destroyed?
The Revening, of course.
Oh, aye.
Okay, I I didn't know what I picked because all the
Wait, do we know
titles
about revenue?
are gone.
Of
Do you
course
have
I do.
anything about the prophecies? Anything about the others? Anything about
Well, Valos
the
doesn't, but there are certainly other authors that could. I took you to be hunters by the fact that you're somewhat bloody and beaten up from your previous engagement, and the fact that I could hear the jingling of the silver in your pockets.
okay, yes, but mm, my my needs are for more about what Nycos was and what, if anything, are the prophecies for the future.
Oh, there
What,
aren't
you
any.
haven't read those?
Read what?
These are books of the past, not books of the future.
Aye, there's the three prophecies, aren't there?
There are.
Everywhere.
I never
Aye,
seen them.
they put them in every restroom stall.
Well, pretty close. They call them libraries. That's all they really call them, and they fundamentally are restroom stalls, because unlike our libraries, they don't have access to actual literature. They only have the three prophecies. But I don't disdain them.
Quite honestly,
I pity them.
Kiara has never seen the prophecies.
Oh, well, they're right over there, and you don't even need me for those. Help yourself. They're printouts and pamphlets. You can take them with you.
Can I ask a question?
Yes, of course.
I would like to learn more about my fish people and how we are treated in this world.
Oh, well, the fish are a subject race, predominantly. They are held in subject by several different, much more aggressive ocean-going species. They fall easily into the control of things like Lokatha or Sahwagin, and end up being the bulk of workforces and, dare I say it, enslaved races of the more aggressive. It has more to do with the fact that your attention span is mercurial, and therefore somebody with any kind of
Long range
longer
memory.
range plans can simply remind you that you were working for them, and you agree. You are that. The fact that you are orange and striped with blue is pretty close to absolutely appropriate for the fish people, because they are definitely orange veil with a little bit of got to be protected blue in them, and a slight stretch of white in there too, because they don't necessarily the concept of any future beyond this is completely incomprehensible to them. The fact that you're having this conversation suggests that you are probably the higher end of that willful spectrum.
Is there a way to enhance one's memory for a race?
Unfortunately, not much. You can find sources, receptacles for information, but the fish who have had those tend to lose them because they forget where they put them.
I go over and read the prophecies.
Maybe you could try journaling.
There you go.
Good idea. Can you show me to the books of the journals?
Yeah, books and pens.
So in meta,
Yep.
I will hand Steven a notepad and say, take notes.
Notes.
Congratulations.
All right.
You just talked yourself into being the group's note taker.
Well, that's gonna be a problem here.
Yes, that's why it's appropriate that a fish should have to be the note taker, because that will improve your memory because you'll have the written copy, and everyone else will remind you where the book is because they want you to remember stuff for them.
Well, I don't have a book to write on.
You have a computer in front of you.
That's a likely story.
Well, my computer is. Well, you know what? I could probably put on a notepad.
His computer isn't working right now.
Yeah. He's having to
Well,
use
now
his...
the internet went out. I'm using my phone to talk to you guys.
Okay, well, I know the phones have a capability of doing text as well, so...
Oh, yeah.
In Notepad.
50s wonders.
I know, isn't it amazing? Technology.
All right,
And
there
that
we
was
go.
right. I'm going
My
to give
journal
him,
is
I'm going
called-
to I'm going to grant a BP to Alabaster for having swerved Fishy Cat into becoming the new...
Yeah! Woo!
I just put down Fishy's Wonders as my journal.
That's fine, but you have to keep track of the notes because I will be asking and you're the one who has the notes.
Well, you remember, though, this is a Fishy and this is me, so...
I know,
Notes
trust
might be
me.
flawed.
Trust me, the other players will tell you, write this down, write this down. Did you get that written down? Because they're going to be depending on you for the notes.
All right, fine.
It's an important job.
Yes, and it changes people's lives. You should ask Documencer.
Does he hate his life now?
Allie? No, Allie greatly appreciates the discipline that she learned by being the group's note taker for a year and a half.
Fishy Cat's the only one that does it, though. I'm not afraid it doesn't do it.
Yet, wait till they find a way to lure you into talking about books again.
Like,
Well, you laugh almost as scarily as Scott. That was a good evil laugh. You're practicing, I can tell.
Oh, I always practice.
Yep. And then the first thing on my notebook says 7 silver.
There you go.
This is true.
No, he wrote 7.
No, he wrote it down. It's in the notebook. He got 7 silver.
Not from me, he didn't.
Who knows
What?
where he got it from? That's not in the notebook.
That's not in the notes.
Wink, wink, nod, nod.
Learning about note taking. Okay, so what else do you want to know about the Grolem? About hunting them? About...
What do you think? Is there anything in there about them coming out of their normal territory to raid down? You know,
they're nomadic, so they follow the treasure. They follow weaker prey. When there are things that they can succeed at, they tend to capitalize on that.
Do you know what kind of treasure they might be hoarding up in their yonder?
Well, like I said, usually they sacrifice their treasure to their gods, to their ancient ones. The key of their system is their primary entity that they focus on is something known as Gromash, Gruhmash, and Grumash is a creature who has but one eye, so it's somewhat of what you might think of as a classical cyclops, but the eye is actually a whirling storm.
Interesting.
How
So-
big is this thing?
Well, apparently it at one point contended with the giants at World's End, far to the north, in what was known back in those days as the Western Wastes.
Is that big?
I don't know.
Well, if they contended against giants, they would have to be pretty massive. And the one thing about the Grolem is that they have no size limitation. They can continue to grow throughout their lives.
That must be a problem for them in general.
So Drunder was pretty old then.
Yes, but he's if you face Drunder, then you already are familiar with some of the I guess you'd call them the Shark Troop Command of the Groll. They've actually their leader is said their current living leader is known as Burble Dot the Massive.
Burble Dot. I guess we didn't clean out the problem then.
I think that should be notated.
Yes, probably want his name. Put that
Burble Dot,
in. Burble
the
Dot.
massive.
Burble, B-U-R-B-L-E.
BLE DOTT.
Oh, you got that, Fishy.
No.
Write it down.
Burble
Okay.
Dot.
Burble Dot the Massive.
Burble Dot.
B-U-R-B-L-E-D-O-T-T.
Right, and Dot is his last name.
Burble Dot, right? Burble Dot?
Burble Dot the
Yep.
Massive.
Alright, cool.
Massive.
Because I spelled it as B-I-R-B-A-L.
Yeah,
Nice.
B-L-E.
Nice. You get a BP for being as annoying with the note taking as possible. This is going to be so much fun. This is going to be so rough. Oof.
B-L-E.
Don't argue with him. Don't argue with him.
He took the
cat.
notes. That is the name.
And the separate name.
Until we come across another written record,
Right.
that is the name.
That is the name.
Sorry, Gene. You could take notes, but
That Burble Dot still lives clear up in the Khanate. Let me go look at the map real quick. There we go.
So these Grolem, are they actually sec-gen or not sec-gen?
They are. None of the SecGen will claim them, and they eat SecGen. So
Okay.
do they like fish and chips?
if they can catch them,
Now we just need to find some chips.
How rude.
What? It's called bait. You're familiar with that.
yeah, you guys ran into
I
ran
mean,
into Elizabeth last week. Different campaign. Yeah, so they're actually from an area known as Khang, Khanng is where they originated. But that
Now I
is-
have a much more important question.
sure
Why is this continent named Grolem?
Groland, because the word Groll, Gruhl, literally means sands.
That's right, confusing that is.
Basically the Grolem are creatures of the dirt. They're the lowest, if you will, culturally.
So you insultingly named this continent Dirt Place.
Yes, just like those silly Terrans that call themselves Earth, which means dirt, or Terra, that means dirt.
Which means earth, which means dirt.
Oi.
And Jarl, by the way, you haven't asked it, but
I can't see nothing wrong with that.
And Yar is the word for the skies.
Uh,
So
Can I ask how how did you come here? Because you weren't here yesterday.
Of course, I've been here for more than 7 months.
Then
I told you. I told you.
Supposing you weren't here yesterday, why might we think you weren't here yesterday?
I have no idea. There's a lot of confusion in the world, I suppose. Facts are often not found in evidence, and the things that we hold as truth may or may not be in their right order chronologically.
Exactly, that's what I keep telling them. Absolutely nothing.
so then we just
Well, I know that she's been here for 7 months.
all right.
Because she said so. We
No,
don't-
I know it to be true.
Why?
Because I don't remember nothing else.
We were here yesterday. This place.
And
is
she
not
was here yesterday.
No.
I'm gonna
Oh,
point out
she
a random
was.
book. Can I look at? Can you bring out that book?
Which book?
And a random book to the left of where we're standing.
Oh, a random book? She goes,
random
oh, okay, just a moment. And she stands up, and as she stands up, she reverts back to the female form. Walks over to the bookcase.
Get
where she
her,
got
Ray.
this book. Yeah. Puts this book. Yeah, she turns and goes, shh. She drifts across the ground. I guess that would be true. She sort of does that undead scurry that I've always liked. That director,
Get her, Ray.
Sam Raimi, that where he pulls the arms back and then they go gliding across the ground. Yeah,
Yeah.
moves without her feet moving. Good stuff. Anyway, she goes and puts the book that she currently has, the Valis Guide, back on its shelf and relocks it. And then she goes over to the random shelf that you pointed at. She points at the book again to make sure it's the one you were looking at. Are you going
And I
to?
do a thumbs up.
Okay. She pulls that book off, and she goes back over and sits down. As she sits down this time, she again becomes a male, but much taller, kind of gaunt of face, wearing spectacles, has a thin, short beard and mustache trimmed neatly around the lower part of a long and thin chin, and she starts to recite from the book. Hop on pop. Pop is on top. Anyway, she's reading Dr. Seuss.
Yay!
I unfortunately can't speak in his full pattern yet. I haven't yet figured out how to do the timing to be able to write to speak in that.
Seussian.
That's actually exactly the same pattern of rhythm as the night before Christmas. There's actually a mathematical term for it, just like iambic pentameter, that describes how.
It's a mnemonic thing.
It was the night before
We
Christmas.
can't speak yet. We're gonna go to the next books.
Not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse.
Well, when you start just randomly pointing at books, she says, we could be here a really long time if you want to try to read all of them. She says, I have before, but then again, I've had a really long time to read.
I'm not going nowhere.
Anyways,
What?
Alabaster, have you read these before?
what?
The book?
The prophecies?
The prophecies, the prophecies, yeah.
Of course he has.
There was nothing good.
I gotta
in them.
know what not to do.
There's nothing
Yeah.
good in them for him.
I need to know what not to do.
What not to do.
So what should we not do?
I don't rightly know.
I thought you not know nothing. I thought you were the person to go to when we not to do nothing.
Exactly.
Hmm.
And that's why there's nothing written in his nothing written in
He
book.
looks at the paper. goes about halfway down, scanning with his finger, points to a word, and says, "Not that.
I look at the word, and what does it say?
Not."
So yeah, all right. All right. Well,
Okay, so now you guys have access to the prophecies if you want to access them from the Discord.
Okay.
Lovely.
She picks up the pamphlet that has them in, so she can have a copy.
Sure.
how did you protect all these books?
By not opening them.
Ha ha. I feel like he just has like a tick. Like he has to giggle when someone says not. Like a 12-year-old when someone says bum.
Exactly.
Do you have a book that tells how long the old gods have been
Dead?
from cut off from Nycos?
You could probably find that out in the histories, but it might take some digging. Why do you ask?
Personal interest, I think it is.
Oh, okay. Well, I can do some digging for you and try to come up with a number for you.
Would you please?
Nothing would please me more.
Ha ha.
That would be a kindness. Thank you.
Sure. I would definitely have an answer for you by the morrow if I can get to my own studies here after a while. Any other books you'd like to look at? Please feel free to point them out. If there's a subject in particular you're interested in, just feel free to whisper it to me. I just prefer the sound of silence.
I will write on the paper as before.
But so yeah.
Could you tell me about the seven?
And I write. I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna write not in words and then hand it to not, and then let's sit down.
You misspelt it.
That's the right way.
KNOHTHM.
The M is silent. So what were you whispering, Alabaster?
Could she tell us about the seven of never?
Ooh, let's see if I can find that also. That's not something that is asked for much, but I'll see if I can find something on it anyway. I do know that that the most commonly known of them are Umara of the North, King Kodar, and Lorathal. There's really much less about the others. Somebody with a notebook should be writing this down too, Fishy Cat.
Oh, all right.
Especially about Lorathal, because you have a doll of her.
I have a doll of her?
You have a doll of him. Lorathal's
It.
name.
They.
Oh, it's got a little
What?
beard. You've got the. Remember, you got the. Is this character's got the doll?
No, I
No.
don't got a doll of anybody.
No, that's Thursday's
It's like
character that has
Thursday's
a doll.
character has the doll, has the Lorathal doll, the lol doll.
What are you talking about?
Your
Thursday?
character got a little magical mannequin, remember?
Remember the Nimblewright?
Oh yeah.
That is a doll made to look like Lorathal, who
Oh.
was one of the seven who caused the nothing.
Okay. Cool. All right.
The never.
The Never.
One
The Revening.
The Revening. Yes.
for a fall. All right.
Lorathal
Omara, not Umara.
Amara.
Olma.
Omara.
Olma.
Olma.
O-L-M-A. You're right. Not Umara. Olma.
She's different now, John.
She is.
Uh,
I
and
made her
then-
different. I made her have to become different. So it was rough on her. She went through some psychic trauma on that one.
Okay, next.
Next, you mean the third one?
Yeah.
Kodar. Kodar.
R. I'll put a capital R instead. Kodar. All right. What else am I putting down?
That's the three that you had to put down for that.
We just know that there is 7, so there's 4 names we don't know.
4 unknown.
Yeah, she'll have those for you tomorrow too. Anything else?
Any magic in this?
Oh, of course. But in order for me to teach that to you, I'd have to give you the education and then kill you.
That makes sense.
Yeah, we don't.
I might be into that.
We don't do that anymore.
What about more on the cleric beliefs or about our gods and everything?
What do you mean?
If we want to learn more about a god,
Sure. Give me information on them.
the one,
The 7 of Never.
Thanks.
the one, the Nycos one, the one that is of Nycos.
I'm not sure what you're talking about. There are lots of deity references in Nycos.
Can you give me all their names?
It would take you a really long time, and no, I'm not gonna give them all to you because I don't even know them all. I'd have to do all the research over again. I'm sure I've read them all at some point, but it's not at ready recollection.
Okay, never mind then.
Well, no.
What
Just ask
do you
what
know
wanna
about?
ask.
Wait a minute. What do you know about Anika?
Annika?
Annika.
Yeah, Annika, 6th iteration. Married to Efreet Dejanah.
Who or what is that?
I don't know. In that part shrouded in history, there's a belief that it might be an automaton, or it might be a otherworldly being, or it might be a galactic sentience. We're not sure.
Okay, so go back to Annika.
What about her?
Who or what is she? What does she stand for?
She's an avatar from the 6th iteration. She
An
was
avatar of what?
Nycos.
But not of a god.
What are you? You're using the two terms interchangeably, but they're not. God suggests agency and purpose beyond supporting the realm, whereas the avatars are manifestations of the world itself.
Give me a second. Avatars.
Are manifestations of the world themselves.
World itself.
World itself. The world's.
They're
itself.
manifestation of Nycos, not deities that have a purpose or supporting role. Right?
I for a second there, like I wasn't even I misspelled self, but I put it self.
Nice,
Oh,
but
Selk.
Selk. Nice. Manifestation of Selk.
All right, so
That's a form of Selk promotion.
yep. All right, man.
You know how long that the portals, the gates from heaven to Nycos have been closed?
No such thing as portals. All right, I wrote that down.
Gateways?
How long they've been what?
Separated from Nycos.
They're no longer separated?
I'm asking you how long
I'm
they have
asking
been.
you: Are they now are they now no longer separated?
It seems that they are separated. I don't understand not
Less so
separated.
clearly.
This is obviously a conversation that's going nowhere fast. Um, the question you're asking begs the question. So you're asking whether or not the portals from the heavens are open, but to suggest are they, when did they close? But
Mhm.
to do so is to suggest that the gateways to heavens are open.
That's all trash to go. What? Oh no, sorry.
That's fine.
Um.
That's fine.
Uh.
Hmm.
Your question does not answer mine.
Right, because your question seems irrelevant. Because
Why?
you're assuming you're stating facts not in evidence. The gates from the other realms are, thankfully, as far as I know, still closed.
Why did you say thankfully?
Because we closed them.
Who's we?
Nycos?
Librarians.
Jane, remember that little voice?
Well, so she's just asking questions. She's not giving anything away yet.
Just leaning that way.
You're walking over, going. So Alabaster's now doing what you were doing a minute ago and trying to whisper in your ear.
Uh,
Sometimes to say nothing is better.
how can I learn?
Okay,
How can I find out?
we
Are
closed.
you trying to?
We
Are you
closed.
trying to?
We
Okay, go
closed
for it.
them. Thankfully, we closed them because it was leading us to an untenable precipice. And
Oh, and
if
if
it
she
hadn't been,
opens them up again,
if it hadn't been for Annika and the others, and in particular the assistance of Afrit Dejana, then this world would have become a conduit and part of the pipeline.
What pipeline?
The pipeline that inexorably draws souls from existence into non-existence.
give me a second. Pipe
Where do souls go when they die here?
to.
I'm a priest that needs basic religious education.
Yeah, exactly. So depending on their stripe, if you will, they achieve. Um,
Nothing?
well, in your case, probably. In other cases, some become parts of devices. Some of them become one with the world's nature. Some of them become
But they return
manifestations
to
of joy.
Nycos.
Ultimately, yeah, Nycos is their source, and from Nycos they draw existence, and to Nycos they owe their being.
What
And
about the others? They're from outside.
yes, that is fundamentally one of the most problematic issues of our time and of time in general. And she says, if you don't mind, I'm going to switch volumes, and she goes and puts the Dr. Seuss book away because I can't imagine doing all of this in rhyme. That would have taken for a really long time for me.
That would have been wonderful, though.
Yeah, wouldn't that have been? I may have to do that at some point. Go back and write that conversation. Oof. But a bit later, she'll come back with the first volume of the histories, and actually no, third volume of histories, and we'll take on the manifestation of a gnome, long bearded, clothed in clothing that looks like a crossword puzzle, with little words written all over it inside the little boxes, and it's formerly he introduced himself as Du Fletcher Ling Ling. much easier to talk about things pragmatically from a perspective of awareness, and so this is a little more comfortable for me. I hope you don't mind.
Not at all.
Ha! Said it first.
Nice. Gotcha, not. He chuckled at his own words.
He didn't beat me.
Only because you were still breathing out after saying not at all. All right, so now, what was the question?
I said, where did he asked where the souls went.
Yeah.
And then
Then
Of
he asked
the
the question about the
others.
others. Okay, yeah, that is somewhat problematic. From their arrivals, from their arrival, there stemmed a real issue because the very nature of their being was antithetical to the nature of this world, and the world rebelled and pushed, if you will, and therefore the increasing number of their souls not able to integrate became a problem. And in the second iteration, it was determined that the best thing that could be done would be to free them. So a process was made to send them home, and in that process of sending them home, the great device was built. And when the great device was built and established as a gateway, for a long time, it was just that, a simple way to dispatch their souls back to the realm from which they came so they could rejoin their creation instead of entrapping them here. It seemed unfair to force beings that did not want to be here or were not from here to have to stay. Of course, over generations, as they integrated and became part of this world, then that became less and less problematic to the point where the gate was no longer really being used. And then villainy happened, and people decided to try to use that gate to reach to other places. And it wasn't so much that they succeeded as they alerted others to the existence of Nycos. And then the 6 others came. That's a really rough time. Basically a consulate of 6
6
aggressive
gate
races.
they were beyond races. They were worlds. They were entire other places, and their philosophies and cultures could not be comprehended. And so others saw them as potential sources of wisdom along the lines of older gods and such like, and so they embraced them. And
world exists.
poor Fishy Cat's trying to keep up with the notes, like, no, too much.
Hey, don't worry, I'm missing some, so it's okay.
The good news is that you can go back and watch the stream later and actually record all of it if you wanted to.
I'm not gonna do that. Fishy Cat writes in the now, not in the later.
Nice. So this is gonna be his version of history is gonna be great. The Fishy Cat document will be in a future iteration. I imagine one of the most perplexing pieces of literature.
There's going to be cults all about it,
Yeah.
and he is the Nostradamus of
Not so dumbest. The not so dumbest.
yes, the not.
Almost
I must
not
be the
so
editor.
dumb.
You must have been the editor.
Just
Not as dumbest.
For that, I'm turning not into a god in this book.
There we go.
Hooray!
Yay! This is what we want.
So these others
Of
Yes.
water
came.
Well, they didn't come; they were brought. The problem with the gate is that the problem with the device is that it is a force of compulsion.
What is his name again?
Dude Fletcher Lingling.
Wait a moment. The compulsion was to send them back.
What? No,
You-
that was our compulsion sent them back. But then the gate was left standing, and others you bent it to their will, and drew in the 6.
All right. Gates.
Okay.
Bad.
What
All
were
right.
the 6?
6.
I'll get that for you tomorrow. I don't have access to it right now. I can tell you that included within
Okay.
them are the Yarlum and the
Ixal?
Vorgra and Ungara, Womber,
That's a really bad name. Womber.
Wombur.
Womber, what are you doing?
So okay. For now, just write down that we need the 6.
UVWXYZ. Zolkra is the last one. Or, X is Zolkra.
6. Okay.
U V W X
And then
Y
we're gonna
Z.
get the names of the 7.
Yep.
So we need 6, 7. What was the other one that we're getting tomorrow?
The 6, the 7, and when
It must be the 8.
the gods were closed. When the gods were closed out.
Sounds like 8.
No, it's probably the 5th.
Okay, 5, 6, 7.
And what do you do to people who open the gates again for said gods?
Oh, it can't be done anymore.
But what if it did happen?
It can't be done anymore.
Why?
I'm telling you.
Thankfully, the 7 destroyed the artifact.
Oh, well, all right then.
Oh,
that's fine.
good for them.
Is it?
What would you do to a person who is trying to open or make a new gate, in a sense?
It can't be done, so I'm not worried about it.
All right. Well, good. I look at Jean or whatever her character's name, and like, and I was like, okay. That's it. Also, I spelled. This is what I have for you. Not is god of watery destruction.
Nice.
Nice misnomer. That's good. Ungara, Womber, Zolkra, Yarlum, and Xenos.
Ixal?
No. Ixal's a completely different thing. That was actually hysterical.
They're much newer.
Yes. Much newer. Yeah. Very funny story. That is.
Hey, Yoda.
Mm-hmm.
I can teleport someone into here.
Yeah, Xenos is the last one. Zenos.
Other meta. Is this us telling Jean that no, you can't open the gate?
No,
Stop
it's not
trying.
saying that at all. That's not saying
it's
that at all. You asked a
Okay.
different question.
I did.
Yes.
All right.
Because I was specifically speaking of the artifact that was used to contact these 6.
That
That-
artifact
that-
is no more.
That artifact is destroyed, and no one else can come through it. Thank God.
Which one?
All of them.
And I also said, can you make a new thing?
Nope.
to open?
Can't.
See, there you go. So then, that's what I'm saying.
Say you had enough splinters.
Well,
in your fingers.
Worse than that. All you have to do is go back in time.
Oh. And you can go back in time because all the storms.
Yes. Which ties directly into a creature we were just talking about.
I think we've already been there, guys, so
That's
I don't
good.
know what you're worrying about.
I'm not worrying about nothing. I'm just having fun.
Anything
Okay.
else you guys doing? Because otherwise, I'll just go ahead and we'll just winker bean till tomorrow and give you the answers you're looking for. So get those done while we're
Thank
done.
you.
Unless you had something else you wanted to do in between.
I don't know, man. I'm happy.
Okay.
Quiet place.
Okay.
Nice. I'm not gonna stop them from
So
existing.
next day when you wake up, you half expect to not see the library standing there, but it's still there.
Yay! And I run in. And I write down on a piece of paper and said hello.
Okay. Well, when you come inside, the box opens and the young lady gets up and out of the box again.
I write down the note. I hope you had a pleasant rest.
She she shakes her head. She actually, for the first time, will actually take the board from you and write "No rest for the wicked." She's not kidding.
That's not funny.
That was not funny. That really wasn't funny. Truth spoken there.
Mm. All right, then. I'm
All
gonna,
right. So of the 7, let's see if we can do this. There's Kit, the sec-gen avatar, a monk.
Where are we going?
That's 3, right? 4. That's 4.
I don't know.
You got the
Kit.
list.
Kit, Ulma,
Kodar,
Kodar,
Lorithal.
Lorthal.
Give me a second. Okay, where did I put those? There they are.
Then you've got Ray, the Eldrin avatar.
Ray. Oh, I thought we were doing the names of the 4. I don't know.
These are the 7.
These are the 7? Okay, then Ray. And so I have Lorithon, Omara, Kodar, whatever.
Kodar,
Ray.
Ray, Nim,
Nim.
who is the Shelta avatar.
Mm-hmm.
Gnomes.
Wait, I'm supposed to write down 2? Shelta Avatar. I was just writing down the name. Shelt.
That's fine too. I'm just giving
Nim.
you detail. Who?
So put down Nim and then put down Soka
Shelta.
Avatar.
Shelta.
Shelta.
Yeah, Shelta.
H
Yeah,
E L
he's a gnome.
T.
No. You don't tell me how to spell these names.
Right, he has to make his own spellings up, so he is going to be the historian for the future. That's how we got Ixel, by the way. A player doing exactly what he's doing, taking notes, misinterpreted. Actually, the funny part is I had stepped out of the room and my notebook was open to a page, and I had an annotation of IXL on a page. And so they took that to be the name of the bad guy. The IXL actually stood for the fact that I was going to be making a reference to the ninth leader. So it was IX for 9, but they took it as Ixel.
That works.
Yeah.
So then Nixel is another one?
Nim.
Nim?
NYM.
Oh.
There, Ixel is not one.
Ixel is not one. And Ixel is not the one that was not one.
Alright, 1, 2, 3.
And there's subject,
Nope.
who is
Nope.
not named.
Nope. He's not there at all.
Yep,
There's
not there.
There's only 6 that I can give you.
I know, that's what I'm saying. Yep.
Yep.
2 unknown names, correct?
No? Should only have
One.
1.
Oh, well, I'm counting 1, 2. Okay, wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You're right. 1 unknown name.
And you now have the names of the 7.
Minus the known.
No, you don't even know that. Wait a minute. You actually do that math. You go, wait a minute. There's supposed to be 7. Yes, and these are the only ones we have.
Why do you only got that one?
Clearly he succeeded. The most insignificant of us all.
Oh.
Praise be.
Well,
His name is totally forgotten.
His name is nothing, as it always shall be.
There's no even awareness of it being a him or a her.
It's a
To
it.
each their own.
There are 6
Nothing
names.
takes the form of which they know the least.
Yay.
We now know the avatar that Not will worship.
The one that does not be known.
The unnamed,
The unknown, honestly.
the nameless ones.
Nameless
Except
one.
that everybody knows of them being the seven.
One
Yes,
of
That's
the
not his fault. He clearly did his best to be
Yes.
forgotten.
Well, that's really funny because the reason why that's the case, the reason why they're absolutely known as the seven, is because the one who was not one became one, because the other one was not.
Exactly.
Now,
So I should put one. Oh no, fuck it. Oh, one unknown.
Way to confuse a very simple thing.
A very fishy thing.
well, yes, but you have to realize that the players
Way to confuse a very confusing thing.
way to decomplexify something that's really complex. No, we didn't decomplexify, did we? Undecomplexify. There we go.
Recomplexify something that was not simple.
He said,
Yay! Hey, I've been. I read down. I read down a spell I create. Last week, I think it was.
cool.
On her tomb, and I was like, "Tell me if this feels good." On the roll on the paper.
Good.
The
What are you talking about? Wait, whoa. What? Restate this, please.
All right. The protection of good and evil.
You put that on her sarcophagus.
No. I put it on a piece of paper.
Okay.
Fine. I just. You know what? Fine. I'll do that.
You have to. Okay, this goes back to the meta. What are you doing? What are you trying?
What are you
to do?
trying to do?
I just want to know if it works.
What are you trying it to do?
Nothing. Literally nothing. I'm trying to do nothing.
No. You're casting the spell protection from good and evil, and you're putting it on a piece of paper.
No. The spell that I made last time, then. That's the one I'm trying to do again.
What spell did you make last time?
The protection of good and evil.
Oh, the obverse.
Yeah.
That was not this character.
No,
No,
he's
yes, it
talking
was.
about the one he screwed up when he was trying to cast it on the meeting for the Society of the Schultz.
Oh, okay.
And he realized that protection against good and evil would keep everyone out. And so he goofed it and made it
Created a
protection
haven.
of.
Gotcha.
I just wanted to bring that spell back. I thought it was funny.
That's fine. Yes, you can have that in your spell book. That's fine. That's the advantage of you being the note taker, is you get to keep things like that.
Oh,
Just
man.
be clear with what you want to do, and then it's not as...
Yeah, when I'm not sure what you're trying to accomplish, it makes it difficult for me to know how to interpret it.
And that's
Oh,
when
okay.
things can go very wrong.
Yeah, it's almost as good as running through town banging your pots together. Oklahoma, 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 Oklahoma.
I'm guessing you did that before?
No, Steve Martin did in a movie. All right. So what else? There was something else you guys wanted to know. Oh, you wanted to know when the accesses to the others were completely shut out. Well, they were only actually open during.
Oh, no, he wanted to know the six outside forces that were connected, or
That
whatever.
was the 6 I just gave you. UVWXYZ.
Okay.
Ungar,
Did he write
Womber.
down...
Oh, yeah, he got it. I don't know if he wrote them down, but I said them all. Ungara, Womber. Did you get all that? Zolkra, XULCRA. Did you get those, Stephen?
What? Oh, no. Not at all.
Unga, Womber...
Ungara,
Unga, Womber,
Zolkra.
Spelled
with an X.
Zogra.
Zulkra.
Zulkra.
Spelled with an X at the beginning.
At the beginning.
Then
Yeah.
Yarlum.
Wait a minute. You don't tell me what to do. All right, what was the next one?
Yarlum.
Y'all.
Why?
Y'all.
Oh, no. Yarlum.
Y'all.
And Xenos.
Y-A-R, I guess L-E-M or L-Y-M.
L-E-M.
L-E-M.
Or
Y-A-R-L-E-M, whatever. And
Oh, y'all numb.
Z-O-N-O-S.
Stop it.
No, Z-E-N-O-S.
Xenos, yeah. Z-E-N-O-S.
Is this the new name? The next name? Z
E-N-O-S, yep, that's the last name.
O-N-S.
G-E.
You got it.
He said Z-N.
Z-O-N-A-S-E-E.
Is it Xenos or Zonos?
Xenos.
Xenos. It is an E, not an O.
Well, yeah, I put E-E like you said. E-E.
Don't worry, I'll edit it later.
We'll interpret later, yes, because we do know that Alabaster is the editor of
The fishy cat.
the catfish book.
The Nostradamus.
The not so dumbest.
Hey, no. It is called The Fishy's Wonders. Thank you very much.
That's the subtitle.
That's the subtitle, but it's known as the work of Not So Dumbest.
Not so dumbest. Fishy's Wonders. It's like The Hobbit.
There and back
There
again.
and back again. A Hobbit's Holiday. See, it has 3.
That's very funny. Okay. But there was a third subject you wanted to know, which was when this place was available to creatures and beings from beyond the plains. That was third iteration into the fourth, when people discovered the engines and turned them on. No, I'm sorry. That's sixth. That's fifth into sixth.
And turn them on.
Right.
Sixth
And
generation.
it drove Nycos out of its orbit into a place where it could be contacted by creatures that were from beyond here, because Nimbus was no longer protecting it. And that was also coincided with the disappearance of dragons.
Could
Say
it
what?
be sent back to
Oh, that's
where
good.
it belongs?
Hey, Knots. You got something that you always wanted. Possession of Knots. Not a dragon?
Wait a moment. I thought Nycos is closer now to Nimbus
Yeah,
in
exactly.
meta.
Yes.
But then why does it mean that now the planet's closer to this others, and yet it loses the protection of the dragons?
Yes, that's you're beginning to see the depth of the 6.5-year campaign arc. You guys have been chasing tier 1 activity. We're talking about tier 2 and tier 3 activity.
Yay.
We leap beyond the paragons. We fly with the non-existent dragons.
Yay.
I don't think
Thank
this is the
God.
character that I want dealing with tier 2 and 3.
Yeah, exactly. It definitely is not the character for tier 2.
No, Fishy Cat
This is one where
not going to make it.
tier 2 says, "What? We got rid of dragons? Woohoo! I win."
No, he has no problem with dragons. Except for sea dragons, those damn blues. No, not blues.
Turtles.
Whatever they are.
Aquamarine.
Dragon.
No.
Of course they were.
Dragon turtles and sea monsters.
Whatever.
Whatever. Anyway,
But
so yes, you have discovered a conundrum. How is it possible, if we are closer in, that we are susceptible to the others? Well, clearly something must have changed.
What changed?
What changed? What did Seven do? What did the Revening succeed in that nobody else had succeeded in?
It made a
Finishing history.
very dumb wish. I don't know.
No, I already told you what they did.
No, Fishy doesn't know.
No, I did just say you don't have the notes for it, but I said it.
Say it
Uh,
again.
Say it again. All right. Say-
What the seventh succeeded in doing was obliterating the uh, ancient artifact.
Oh, destroyed.
And then you asked whether it could ever be recreated, and I said no, it can never be recreated.
Hmm.
That I don't understand. Whatever's been created can usually be created again.
Well, this one can't apparently.
Maybe it's not so much that it can't be recreated, but it can't exist.
There we go.
So there's an active witch saying that it cannot exist.
It can exist, but they don't want it to exist.
No, it
No,
did exist.
It is a wish saying that it is an impossibility for it to exist.
Yes.
It is a rule
Oh.
of the universe that it cannot exist. Therefore, we
Yes.
have to make something other.
That
If
is.
that is
Or find another
that.
way. Yeah, find another way to get the same result. So which is not that part's not impossible.
So what you're trying to say is that what you're trying to hint at, in my perspective, is that
Oh, okay.
the dragons are one of the 6.
Dragons are
Because
one
by
of the
destroying it, that's what got rid of the dragons?
No, pushing Nimbus away, pushing Nycos away from Nimbus, should cut off the ability of the dragons to reach here.
Hmm.
But some of them are reaching here. Or
Now, because we fell back in.
It's
we-
Bigger.
away from dragons. Now they can come back.
We should be recording him do that. We are, because him writing down what he's saying or saying what he's writing down sounds like arcane witch sorcery. Sounds like he's actually casting a spell.
The dragons came down from Nimbus.
You are our last
the
hope.
last. Yeah.
And I will take this and put it.
So
I was going to put it
in
up there.
meta,
Are you saving
this
these
is something
anymore?
that's not part of the stream.
Right.
Okay, I'm gonna put it
that
up in there.
Possibly giant red spheroid is
Right.
related.
Right. Not part of the stream at all. Right.
Big red.
Hell
spear.
hath come to dragon heaven.
Oh, is that where dragons live? The red spear?
No, they live in Nimbus.
Yeah, that's what I'm asking. Nimbus is the red spear?
No.
No. Nimbus is the giant gas giant. That's our sun.
Yes.
Oh, okay. All right, cool.
But the dragons could provide protection against extra dimensionals as long as you were close enough.
They only have to-
When mortals decided they wanted to try to make it easier to access their new Yarlum allies, they moved the planet farther out to make it more palatable to the Yarlum population.
Yeah, that's not happening.
It already did. That's what happened in the past.
Again, that's what I'm
It's
saying.
not happening again. Yes.
Sorry,
Alright.
Gene. You've been vetoed.
But
Nothing.
and now, if we can find a way to move Nimbus back to where it belongs,
It
well,
is.
Nycos.
It's back where it belongs
Nycos.
now.
Nycos. No,
Gene,
it's not.
yes, it is.
Then why haven't the dragons come back?
The dragons
They
have
have.
come back over the last 126 years or 1600 years, depending on who you look at.
Oh, okay.
What he's saying is that the two are separated. If
Yeah.
we move it so that you can get a connection to the other planes, the dragons would stop that if we were too close.
Eh.
Yes?
Yeah, for clarification, those are two ends of the spectrum. You have the protections of the Draconics when you stay close enough to their planet to be of use for them. When you withdraw and pull away, they no longer can protect. Not only that they wouldn't, but they can't protect. And when you do that, you open yourself up to all extraplanar activity, extra dimensional.
What isn't a bad thing? It's just
Such a hard choice for me. Such a hard choice. Demons and devils and asshole gods or dragons.
they're also bad dragons.
Well, okay, but bad dragons manifest only because people treated them poorly, or they were injured, or have a chip on their shoulder. They're naturally non-aggressive.
Thinking.
Are you musing? Are you musing a bit there, Alabaster? Is your brain melting down?
It's so hard to choose.
Well, not. Is there a way to make it so there's not any dragons and not any gods?
Yeah, I suppose. I
Bite thine
don't know what it
tongue,
would look
villain.
like, but it's possible.
Be very boring.
Well, you could just put out a big reward for the death of all dragons. Just hunt them out of existence.
Yeah,
That was
Not
not-
will find a way to not make that happen.
There's absolutely nothing wrong with that strategy. What
Yes,
could
there is.
What could possibly go wrong?
If you want to make a really bad enemy, go ahead.
Yeah, I can
And
just see somebody trying to hunt down Regulus. That'll go.
I can just see that there's one more arrow that's going to come to this campaign. They're not going to like it.
One more arrow? Why would? Oh,
Yeah.
how many arrows do we got?
98.
You have none.
98. No, 20.
He has enough.
19. 19.
More than enough.
Yeah, it only needs, what, 6 more? 4 more. 4 more.
Well, including Fishy Cat.
And Kay will forget if you take her book away.
Sounds good.
But you have
Hey,
to.
anything else you want to know? Since we're on the get all the information you want. By the way, this is reestablished libraries throughout the world.
Yep. We did it, guys! Yay!
How did we bring back libraries?
Planted the
See,
stone.
there was a great dragon that came and saved the Manes.
Monas?
The Manes preserved the knowledge.
Oh.
And so he's changed the universe changed the perspective on the Manes. They will no longer reproduce. They will no longer follow their old path, but instead now act as a resource.
Yay!
Kind of like, I don't know, the Vatican. In a weird kind of a way.
Less churchy.
Probably more churchy than you think, but
Less-
only within their culture.
Less touchy-feely.
Yes.
I'm still on touchy. Anyways.
Anything else you want to know? Tiara, you want to know the last time they did have access. Yes. It did lead to an area, a time known as the Ageless War, at which point the world of Nycos was splintered into 7. And this is what Annika was trying to show you. 7 different worlds, all trying to resolve the issue of the deteriorating orbit of Nycos, to prevent the world's destruction. That period was called the Ageless War because each of those was a full-on war with one of the 6 others.
And who are the others?
We already talked about them.
Oh yeah, right. I keep asking, and then my brain just goes, "What?" And
What?
nothing replaces it.
Right.
Exactly like your character is.
Exactly. They just simply don't exist in your head, so it's okay.
It's just
UVWXYZ, yes. And so each campaign was supposed to overcome the enemy that they were in, and unfortunately, in the case of the Yarlum universe, the party visited upon themselves a TPK.
I don't know.
Yeah. They put themselves in a place where I couldn't save them. Even the game master couldn't save them from their own folly. And because that failed, the grand experiment failed, and the world fell back inward.
So
Yay!
that's what we were supposed to do.
Right.
What? Make it so we don't get saved by the game master?
No, that's what we were supposed to find out when we were in those chairs and
Right.
disappearing and all that.
Right.
But which one was it? What color?
Which color? Orange, of course.
Ah, John didn't get saved.
No, that's the problem. No, that's the problem. The world is currently under orange veil. We're not aware of the actual real danger. That's the point, is that there's still something bad happening.
Yay! What's still bad happening?
Yarlum, apparently.
Unfortunately, I can't tell you because it hasn't been rediscovered. And since it fell into the period of time after the Revening, it's not something I can give you the details of.
But we have the knowledge, John. Is there a book in here that could possibly
There
help
is
us?
not.
Yay!
Yay!
There's a book about the knot?
There are no books about Knot.
Good.
There are books on everything, but no
He likes
books
to
on Knot.
keep it that way. He gets a shifty conspiratorial glance.
Nice.
I read a tiny little book on knot, and then I placed it into the library.
It disappears.
Okay, so Tiara, do you understand
Do I understand what?
the answer to your question?
What was
Yeah,
your question?
I have heard your words. There's so much I don't know surrounding those.
Well, keep asking. You can ask more.
Yep.
I want to help Tiara understand her role in this world.
So we can stop the fighting.
Well, right now it seems I have no way to help Nagomo do what she's doing.
Why do
But-
you want to help her?
Oh, excuse me?
Let's leave the bookstore.
Okay.
No,
Well, now you can
Truly.
come back. You can come back and ask more questions.
I'll come back.
So you guys can
Right,
go and
we'll
talk.
be right back.
Sure.
I
Okay,
will
just
be
just so
back.
we can talk freely without
Right, without
in and
feeling
out of
like
character without overhearing.
Right.
Uh,
Go back to
So
the
that
house.
Nycos can't listen in.
Right.
Okay.
Okay. So now ask your question.
So I understand this one way not only brought in heaven and hell and
Double hell and other hell and
Yeah,
everything
and
between.
then it brought in these 6 or 7 other places, other peoples.
Those were earlier. Those were actually earlier.
Those are the earlier.
Yeah. Okay. So chronologically, Dungeons and Dragons didn't give an S about the gods. They created the deities and demigods books so you could include them if you wanted, but they were not required to play the game.
that's why they include things like Greek mythology. It's just a bunch of
It was just resource material, really, is what that was. And so you could make the campaigns that you wanted to run.
3.5 had so many freaking gods. You
But
could not keep track of them.
Yeah, well, I'm backing it even further. I'm talking about first edition,
Yeah.
the little white books.
The deities and demigods
Right.
didn't
That
came
was,
out later.
That was well, okay. No, almost immediately was available the original gods, demigods, and heroes. And the
Yeah.
gods, demigods, and heroes were just a reference source for game masters, so that they could allow players, for example, to meet Beowulf, or if they wanted to fight the Grendel, or if they wanted to go on the adventures of Hercules or whatever. So
Okay.
they gave references to those so you could find them all out. I was personally aware of all of that stuff, so none of that appealed to me when I created Nycos, and so therefore I didn't include any of the other gods, any of the external gods. Matter of fact, there wasn't any real reason to, other than the priests, and I let the priests come from anywhere because originally there was no need to protect Nycos because nothing was here to overtake it. People playing individual priests were dedicated to their own priestly orders and were not involved with being evangelists until somebody brought a Bible.
Ah,
And
Jean.
no, not Jean. Jean found hers, and she wasn't the first. But the issue is that there are now, I think I said four 4 copies of the Bible.
3 that are
3 are King James, and one of them that's New American Standard.
Hmm.
And all of them are
Okay.
currently somewhere else in time, so none of them are in the now. Why are you laughing?
Because he brought him?
No, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Oh, I'm very
But
interested.
remember,
One day, I want to bring a pair of Mormon missionaries with a full quad,
That'd be hysterical.
just to balance it out.
Oh, no, that would be bad.
A pearl of great price, Nycos.
Yeah.
Good God.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There would be no problem with that. That'd be like somebody grabbing the Bhagavad Gita or a Quran. Can you imagine?
Hey, if we brought all of them here, then everyone would be just as confused as we are, and then
No, the problem is this place. As the saying goes, in this place that quote shit works. I mean, yeah,
True.
that's the reason why the Bible was so dangerous, is that it actually was going around obliterating gods. And
Yeah.
so that player decided he was going to evangelize Nycos. And
a
that's
freak
what
nation, huh?
that
no,
no, an individual
he doesn't
player.
give a
Then
flying
why
flip
did he
about.
talk about using the Bible to beat everybody into the shape?
Because it's
Because it's
used
culture.
as a way to manipulate the masses. It is abused in order to do that.
Yeah. Well,
Well, fortunately, it's been malapropically used that way. It doesn't. No one's ever actually used its full force and power to successfully do that, because people get involved. As long as you try to hold to the individual scripture, you don't run into problems. But it's when you try to hammer that into place that you're into problems.
well, that's it.
That always ends
Well,
up
he
with
also
chaos.
he said that he wanted it back because he wanted to start the wars,
Right.
the Bible wars again.
Right.
He didn't say exactly that, but he said, "Do you have it?" And she said, "No, because it was among the stuff that."
No,
had
he
to hide."
specifically said that we need to get it going so we can get back to the good old
That's right.
war times or whatever it
Yep.
was.
Bring back.
I don't
bring
remember
back-
exactly how he said
It
it.
was-
Well, he said something about beat him into shape. That's what he almost used. That is the gist of what he said.
No, I am straight up saying he did say that he wanted it so that they could start the wars again.
Yes, it has to do with
That
the
was
wars.
included. That's not an addition. That is
What
part
were
of what
the
he said.
wars
He didn't specify, and that's what we're talking about now in the meta.
in the meta? But what were the wars?
He went from talking about the Bible to talking about it causing wars. So 1 plus 2.
War,
Yeah. Well, as far as Valera's
war
concerned,
against all
he
gods.
needs to,
So there's only one God.
she doesn't like the guy because he's misusing the word of God. It's a personal choice, one person to God.
But yeah,
That's the modern interpretation. Through
but
the
you're
United
not
Church.
okay. But that's Tiara, and that's not Tiara.
Not Tiara.
Tiara does
Valara.
not know. Tiara does not believe in the one God. She's a servant of Nadroma, of the Guardians of Elysium. They're a polytheistic culture. They are the angels without a God. They are the angels, if you will, that's separated from God. They created
Have you
their own
seen
place.
Supernatural? It can go. It spends a lot of time describing about the horrors of what happens when there is no God and angels are in power by themselves.
Good.
They have
You
they
mean
they they,
Yeah,
they
the
believe
TV program? Yes.
yeah, but culturally, the source of Nadroma is not heaven. The source of Nadroma is Elysium. Elysium
Okay.
is a specific place that is a planar existence whereunto the angelic host is Lord and Master.
So,
Nadroma is only one of them.
Just to clarify, this is not the Greek Elysium, correct?
That is
This
correct.
is not where heroes go to rest.
It may be, but if so, they go there under the protection of the angelics.
Or they become warlike angelics?
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah. They start down that path.
Being
Yeah,
stuck on the same
with that
character.
idea in mind, she was still heading down here to help Nycos.
Was
Well, no,
So she also decided later on, once she had heard Morogram's word that she certainly has to support
So you're gonna
what
open
he's
the
saying.
gates? You're gonna
Right.
find a way to open the gates, or open a gate, a type of gate.
What?
She has no way of opening a gate.
Sure you do.
She has no way of
Sure you do.
of re- yeah. Eventually, when I get 18th level, I can make a gate, but I can't necessarily make it to a plane that's completely cut off. I have to be able to
There's
reach
a
it.
lot more
But
ways to do it
there-
than what the book tells you can do.
Right. Also, I'm referring in particular to the very way that it made Nycos accessible before. You could replicate that.
Yeah, that's the problem. Understanding that it caused a huge problem because it let in others. Yeah,
But,
But-
but that's what you want.
You want to let in others.
The place that you are asking to open up to is one of the things that caused really bad problems. It is not separate. The other things coming in is not a side effect of opening up to Elysium. Elysium is part of the bad things that happened.
of course I can't. She can't see that.
No, but you as a player have to. I just need you to be clear about this. Putting Nycos in a place where Nadroma and her host of angels can come pouring into this world is not a place that makes Nycos better. It makes it no longer Nycos. It makes it someplace else. What he just now referred to as the pipeline.
Yeah, so that's the danger is not only them, because she can't see them as a danger. She can't right now, but she does see that letting others in is a danger.
Feeling you're
but
gonna give up.
I'm not talking about Tiara. I'm just making sure Jean understands. That's all.
Jean understands.
Okay.
Okay, so you're not gonna make it, Gene. You're not gonna make a portal,
Uh,
correct?
Oh, so she can. Her character can certainly still have that as an agenda, but it doesn't seem to make sense if she says she's here to protect Nycos. If you came down earnestly to protect Nycos, and you basically allowed Nadroma to bring you here, but you've fallen for the world and you want to protect the world, then you have to see Nadroma as a threat.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't mean you have to hate him.
Her.
It. I don't
Nadroma's
know.
a her.
It.
Pronouns, dude. Pronouns.
That's why her name ends with an A. That way you understand the conventions. It's a Greek name, so,
Okay.
like Andromeda.
Mhm.
I know too many languages. It all blurs now.
Right.
Okay. So yeah, like with Not, obviously me as a player, I'm never going to allow him to actually do anything that's gonna be
Zero.
really bad.
You don't want to zero out the world?
Yeah,
Now, Alabaster does.
he
but
is
you
a,
don't.
he is a neutered Not.
Alright.
He focuses on his one little thing, which he hates the oceans. And if that gets a little damage, far be it from me to fight against that, but that's his only pure view. It's not going to relate to anything too big.
Well, on none of that, I think that if you look at Alabaster not with any kind of practiced eye, you see that he's totally intended to be the comic relief.
Absolutely.
Just say destruction.
I thought that was Fishy Cat.
No, Fishy Cat's going to be the chronicler. Fishy Cat's going to be responsible for keeping the stories of Tiara and her friends alive.
Yep.
Against his will, and depending on the scatterbrain nature of a fish, it's going to be a hysterical read, and down the road it's going to be quite interesting.
Yep. It's going to be very inaccurate, but you're going to love it.
And Alabaster is going to guarantee that there is nothing that could actually destroy the world in the Fishy Cat
Yeah,
document.
it's mostly going to be just covered in whiteout.
Not your dumbass. Yeah.
No worry, no worry. I'll have 2 copies.
The unedited copy. That'll be the holy grail.
That will be the ancient
secret-
the Book of Ancients. That's
The secret Dead Sea.
there
The
lies
Dead Sea Scrolls.
yeah, exactly, the Dead Sea. Get it? You successfully wiped out a sea.
Oh,
Oh no, that's
great!
horrible.
This is awesome.
We're already building the 9th iteration's beginnings. This is great.
The Dead Sea.
Yep,
Yeah,
the look
because
for,
Alabaster's trying to kill the ocean.
yep.
So if he succeeds, guess what? It's the Dead Sea.
Okay.
All right.
He
So
can
now
just
what the hell
reach
are we
it.
doing now? We've killed the monsters. What are we doing now?
Well, you
Oh,
killed
we have a
some
bigger
monsters,
monster.
and you've learned that there's bigger monsters, and of course you can pursue more of the same if you want to just go rack up experience points.
Yeah, let's go
Rack
this
up
man.
experience points. Murder hobo. Murder hobo.
Yay!
Ah,
Yay!
Let's kill this town.
I got a new warhammer to try out.
Wait a moment. Should we go to Apex?
Nah.
Why would we go there? It's destroyed.
But
Wink, wink.
think some people might have already come back.
Nah, they wouldn't do that.
Oh, Apex is probably trying to recover, but
The only hook we have right now in meta is dealing with the Golem problem, so we might as well deal with that.
Okay.
yeah, since you don't have your ship's captain and all that stuff that was tying you to hunting down the submersible and stuff, it's kind of irrelevant, because Alabaster is simply not going to do that.
We can steal a ship and then force Alabaster.
But
Oh, we've already sunk a ship.
Good luck.
It's gone.
They just we'll put sleeping pills in his.
You have no idea what he has hidden in his leg.
nice.
He has a panic button.
Okay, let's go.
Roll the white veil.
Okay, so you didn't successfully
It's-
find out why the Grolem had come down the hill. The books only tell you that the Grolem are nomadic and usually pursue.
And they
Treasure.
sacrifice
Food and spoils.
treasure.
They sacrifice treasure to their ancient god, which is known as a cyclopean.
Well, maybe we can
We don't-
stop.
We
kill
don't
'em
really
off
know what
and-
we don't really know what they consider treasure either,
Yeah.
because they didn't have any like gold,
Coins.
silver, anything. They only had one of these rings, and he had a magical mace, so
Yay,
he
magic.
really
domain.
has some sense of treasure. But he
Oh,
had this
magic
serpentine Ouroboros ring of a snake eating a snake,
Cool.
which allowed him to communicate with some other people who had the ring.
Can I have it?
No,
No.
Well, then fine. I don't
but
want
if
it.
we get a full set,
we could get communicate.
that could be kind of cool.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We go talk and say, "Hey, where you at?" And then we go kill that person. That goal.
Yeah, so that's our goal, is to kill all the wearers of the ring so that we can get them all. The wearers of the rings, the bearer. I'm sure there's no
Wait
one
a moment.
ring
Why
that's
not put
controlling
one
all the
on
others.
and we might be able to hear messages? Oh, but somebody have to understand Golem.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, we could stay in the library and learn the language.
For 10 weeks.
Yep.
But they don't really have a language, do they?
No.
Mm.
What do they
Well,
speak?
if they do, the ones you ran into had their tongues cut out, so they couldn't have talked to you anyway.
Well, that's a sadness.
Of course, cutting out tongues is also what you do to spies, because you don't want them to rat out if they get caught, or worse, get killed and then raised by a speaker
But-
dead. So you take out
But
their
you can write.
their
so
tongues so they can't talk.
Would you like to go meet back up with that lovely bunny fellow and go back into the fray?
Yep.
Maybe we could get together a bunch of the hunters and make a raid on the big place.
That's a possibility. Find
That's
out
a
where
possibility
their
too.
encampment is and go after their encampment.
Aye.
That would definitely be a statement. Of course, if it failed, then you'd be raining down destruction on the local area. So I'm sure the locals might be a little concerned about that. But
I'm sure nothing bad can happen.
I'm not so sure, Alabaster.
Ha 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 ha. He said my name. Not as sure, Alabaster.
No.
Right, so we need more information. Let's go.
So
Maybe
find the
Not
encampment,
as not
then
the protector of the sea.
plan a raid.
So you're gonna go talk to the other hunters to see if anybody knows where their encampment might be.
Yes.
Yes. Or where they traditionally come from. Is there a certain place? I know that we found that they came over a certain hill that the bunny took us to.
Right.
I don't know if we would find our way on our own.
Well, actually, that part was fairly simple. But you were going to talk to the bunny again anyway.
Yeah.
So
Just don't eat the oats
so,
or
yeah.
the cereal.
Yeah. Don't eat the cereal. The multicolored.
Saley Rabbis.
Yes.
Sir Saley
Yes, Sir
Rabbis.
Sir Saley and his vassal are outside of camp in his palisade and enjoying the afternoon sun. He's gotten paid, so he's not ready to head back up the mountain yet, but you can certainly go and talk with him.
Hello, sir.
Ah, welcome back, friends. I trust you received just compensation for your labors and our
Quite, we
recent
did.
endeavors. Excellent.
Gratitude to you for showing us the ropes.
Yes, please, and help yourself to the mead and the milk. I've got milk and honey, and it's just a great place.
Oh, thank
I
you.
see it's flowing here.
It is. So what brings you back
Oh,
to my camp?
before they left town, Alabaster, of course, pulled up 10 buckets of water and negated them before
Yes.
leaving.
Yes.
That's what he eats for breakfast.
Yeah, you will be approached by Mulberry after the second or third time of that and say, is there any way you can do that at the stream? And he'll point out where the stream is outside of town. This water source is kind of important to the locals. So
Oh, okay, sure.
thanks. Appreciate that. I understand the need for ritual, and especially somebody who is as sympathetic to the cause as you are, you know.
Aye, yeah. Hey. Gotta do it. And then,
Okay.
anyways,
So now we're back to here. I just want to make sure we got that handled, because the locals would be freaked out the second time you burn up 10 gallons of their
Well water.
well water.
oops.
It's like, dude, we actually use that water. Oh, sorry.
Oops.
Sorry.
Point me in the direction of the sewer then. I'm not picky. As long as it's 10 gallons of liquid, it's going out.
There you go.
However, what you're left with is the solids.
Yummy.
Smells like chummy.
Not quite.
That's what we need around here.
All right.
All right. So, what can I do for you?
Well, our thought was that if we could find out where their camp is, that maybe we can get together, all of us and some of the hunters also, and make a raid on their camp. Another planet, and then what, Alabaster?
Well, we also found a link into their communication system. If anyone you know could understand their communications, we have this ear ring.
You have an earring?
No, it's a ring.
But you just said it was this earring.
Oi, well that's my idiom, isn't it?
Who's on first comes back to mind again. Which ring?
Yeah,
this earring.
there's-
It
there's
doesn't work. I put it on my ear twice. No. You have to wear this earring.
There's a whole new set of jokes that come when you start doing accents.
Yes.
Right. This here ring shows him a finger ring that's a little bit big. It's got the Ouroboros symbol of snakes eating themselves. And it's green, I think, like green copper. Something.
Serpentine.
Aye, and it lets you into their commune system.
No, but as a matter of fact, I didn't even know they had a language, but we can definitely look into that. As far as getting together, the idea of a grand armée, that sounds awesome. I think we can probably arrange. I can call for others of the knighthood, and we could make quite a show of it. Are we going to plan for a spring attack, or wait till summer?
Surely
Sooner
possible.
the better, I suppose, but we'll need information.
Oh yes, we certainly need to figure out where they will be at that point and things like that. But gathering forces for an army usually takes a considerable amount of time and resources. So,
Aye, well,
who is
if you
funding
want to
this
help,
operation?
The proceeds of what we take.
Well, that's the reason why hunters have been the only ones who've been able to pull together so far, because hunters don't tend to A, like to share, and B, the amount that it would take to put together an army is considerably higher than what it costs for an individual hunter to get paid.
well, let me ask you this. Let's get some more information. We'll work on it.
Sure.
We'll talk and get funding if we can. Would you know any good hunters that are trustworthy, mind, that are quite sneaky?
Oh, there's definitely some of my, I guess you'd call them my cousins, some of the other sect gens, specifically the Lacertine, that have camouflage and stealth skills, certainly.
Trustworthy, mind. Aye?
Oh yeah, they're pretty single-minded. So as long as there's a silver lining to the project, I'm sure they'll be.
Oh, aye, aye, of course there is. In every ear. But we need a guide who can get us close to our camp, and of course we're going to take a couple for the road. And see what we can see.
All right.
If army's even viable, and if there's enough danger, then we'll be able to get the locals to chip in, maybe.
Okay.
Especially that rich one with the big house.
Oh, Alistair? Yeah, I don't know how likely he'll be to get involved, but it's possible.
Who knows?
Them to them.
Nothing is possible.
Yes. All right. So,
Am I supposed to be writing notes? Because I haven't been writing notes.
No,
No,
we'll let you know if something's important.
yeah, they'll trust me. They'll be shouting for you when the time comes.
Just put down, we're planning to raise the Grolem.
No. Not important.
We're planning to have a party with the Grolem.
Okay. That sounds about right.
There you go. I know the secret.
Lie like a sieve.
Arr!
Is
Tell him little not truths.
no. There we go. There you go. You got your party.
Nice.
All right.
Hey,
So,
friend. I'll put that in there
We're
too.
inviting the Lacertines.
right. So the one that shows up first. Actually, there's a knock at the door of your house.
Ooh. Hello?
When you go and open the door, there's no one standing there.
Oi.
No.
Oh,
You're
the
quite
fuck,
good, aren't
you're
you?
letting the hot air out.
And when you turn around, there's a Lacertine leaning against the wall, colored like the wall, picking at his fingernails with a
Dagger.
long. Well, no, it's a penknife. This little folding penknife.
Remind me again, Lacertines? I get them always confused.
Lacertines are lizard folk.
Okay.
This one looks kind of like a gecko.
Oi, hello there. What are you looking at?
Oh, just cleaning my nails. Heard you got a job. And he drops your flyer on the table. Goes over.
Oi.
Go over and starts to pour himself a snifter of brandy from your bottle on the table.
I don't mind. We didn't have a table before, so I'm happy to have one now.
Remember, the whole place was fully accoutered by the gnomes that built your place. They did. The reason why there was such a high debt is they finished it in really fine fashion.
No. We're not in that
house.
place anymore. No, we're in
Where?
Banbury now.
Oh,
We're
that's
in
right. We're in
Banbury.
Banbury. That's right. So yeah, it's the innkeeper's. Innkeeper's. He's
He did, because we took out what's his face. He did offer us to have a room there. So
That's true. So you do
because
have,
that was the biggest threat that he'd had for a while.
That's true.
So
Anyway.
he wants to keep the biggest hunters close to him, I think.
Yeah. Anyway, he says, name's Snaga.
Hello, Snaga.
Nice to meet you. So we're hunting Grolem.
Aye.
And
We'd like to get as close to their encampment and all the proceeds along the way will be yours and ours to share. But we're looking for information, and you'll have big mighty help. He shows the hammer of Drunder. He says, "I'll be right with you. We'll be taking them out as we go. But our goal is to find out the most information about the camp, because we're looking to set up a big raid on the big encampment."
Oh, really?
Aye.
Well, I can help you with the information gathering, but I can tell you I'm flat out when it comes to straight warfare. I'm allergic to pain. I break out in screams.
Oh,
Oh,
I
but
understand completely. Nothing wrong with
I
that.
bet you're very good, shall we say, with a quick target of opportunity.
I
I'm
hold
not
my
getting
own.
what you're putting down.
I don't. Yeah.
Ew.
I hold my own in a conflict, but when it comes to the big battles, I'm much more likely going to be the guy that shows up after the fight's over and clean the bodies out, if you know what I mean.
Oh, aye. Although, if we start a front on one side, you could sneak in the back, start slitting the throats of the people back home.
Oh no, I don't kill children. Sorry, doesn't matter.
Oh,
doesn't
not
matter
the children. Those we leave to let them grow up, then we harvest their ears.
Oh, dude.
I'm kidding.
Okay. Anyway, the place you're looking for is called Buga Shakil.
Booga,
Shaquille.
electric boogaloo. Put it down.
Buga Shakil.
No, I'm good.
Boogie of kill.
Boogie kill.
Boogie kill.
Boog.
He won't remember it. Damn it. Somebody
Yeah.
will have to watch this video again next week.
Killer booty. Killer booty.
Oh, I put Boogie kill.
Bahooja kill.
Close enough.
Sounds good.
Anyway,
That's how I write my notes anyways, because they're mnemonics that help me remember.
So anyway, Buga Shakil is at the headwaters of one of the.
Waters, what?
Yeah, there's a fountain,
Spring.
spring, if you will, up above the mountain, and it's
I have to
from
get rid of that.
yes. Anyway, they have that village of Bugashakil was the target of their recent aggression, and they basically took it over and commandeered what was left of human and elven population up there. God knows what they're doing to the folks, and you can hear the people screaming at night. And we've made several different short forays to try to find out more, but it hasn't been too successful because they are operating with a seemingly unnatural ardor. They are much more attentive to their defenses than usual. So there may be somebody who's supporting or driving their actions. The overall lock, stock, and barrel of their peoples are not directly involved with the aggression down the mountain, but they do benefit from the trade that is coming through the backside. Apparently, one or more of the mines on this side feed into the above ground area, and it's said that they've been capturing and in particular harvesting and eating Tarmakians that have been trying to make it to the surface on the north side. So they're pretty well organized for Grolem. It's like I said, it's almost as if they had somebody backing them that was stronger and more organized, and certainly had a greater will than the standard Grolem fare.
So about this water spring, would you consider it that their only main water source?
Well, they don't actually tend to actively drink water. The Grolem don't. They tend to prefer the blood of their victims.
He snaps his finger in frustration. Darn.
But
There goes that plan.
But the people of the village, the few humans and such that are still left, do depend on that. But there's a rumor that there's some sort of poison or disease that harms people if they drink from that river, which wasn't the case before. So it's rumored that the Golem have done something to the water source.
Well, there goes my plan already. That's what I was gonna do.
So,
Hmm. Right. Well, would you help us get up there and get a look or see around? Maybe take care of a couple scout parties.
I'd certainly be interested in running up there as long as I get 20% of the take.
Oi, sounds fair to me.
Okay, you guys all in agreement with that?
All
Oi,
right.
where there's 4 of us, 1 of you, that's 20% for each.
Sounds good to me.
Welcome to the party.
Alrighty, so we will embark on the morrow, and we'll go do some scouting of Buga Shakil. And it's
Boogie Shaquille.
yes, and it is now almost 4 o'clock, so I need to take off. So,
All right.
um,
Have a good one.
yep, and I'm not going to do experience at this point because it was basically mostly information. So,
Yep, it's the prep round.
well, it's also the aftermath of the last round where you actually got paid and got to spend some of your money and stuff. So, enjoy yourselves, and I'm going to get out of here. Let me go ahead and thank our viewers for watching the stream, and we hope to see you again next time. Realize we'll be here every day at 1 o'clock for something, and tomorrow is Tuesday, so no. Tomorrow is Monday.
Monday. I have a message for the audience.
Sure.
A message from Alabaster. Let nothing stop you from watching tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
And if you all don't show up, we blame Alabaster.
Oi, nothing will stand in my way, that's for sure.
All right, thanks guys, and thanks for